Cloud bringing an update for SRS Rocco. Steve and I have been talking, and there were several things I wanted to bring into your attention as we move in to the last 4 months of the year that ordinarily, over my 41 years, is where about half of the appreciation comes from, especially from 2000, 2012, when you could look at it month from month and have 12 straight up months. But we're moving in this year, probably more than any year in the last 4 or 5 years. We're looking for a fairly hefty move up, both in the gold and silver market. I gave a buy signal in silver that was very clear at $15.95, and while silver is only about 35 cents higher than I gave it, about 2% higher a month ago, I'm right on the brink. If I wanted to give a buy signal in gold right now, there's still some risk that it could come down to that 1180, 1200 range one more time before it takes off. The traders in Europe are holding on based on the Andrew Maguire interview with King World News about 6 weeks ago, when he talked about the 250-ton purchase, and we're still hearing rumors that that is going to happen. It is going to be by a cryptocurrency that is being backed by gold and or silver, and this would be a significant purchase and certainly would have a big effect on the market. We're also still seeing figures where China is still the biggest importer of gold, coming in monthly and still buying gold wide open, while most of the central banks are kind of quiet and have been buying gold, but not here during the summer months for whatever reason. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but what I want to say to you today is it is a buy signal for gold. Who cares if it goes down $30 or $40? It's more important that you have it and have it in your hands or in a warehouse position. And Steve has asked me to review that, and this is as good a time during this tape as any to say the reason people like Steve recommend us to the world is commissions are fair, the lower storage rates in the world, no charge when you resell, and we're talking about, in a nutshell, you can buy from us for 2.5% to 3.25% over our cost, and then we'll deliver it to you free. If you want to store it, we'll arrange storage in one of 5 warehouses. They all have different rates. We don't charge 1 penny, unlike a large percentage of dealers out there add on to the real cost of the storage. You need to call us and check our storage fees, because I promise you they're lower than anybody in the world. And I can tell you, we don't take a penny. We arrange for you in 2 warehouses, you get 6 months free rent. So, and when you're ready to sell, we'll have the buyer take delivery in those warehouses where you don't have to ship it somewhere. So 3% commissions or lower, the lower storage rates in the world. If you want to take personal delivery, we'll send it to you free. And when you're ready to sell, whether it's in the warehouse or you want to mail it in, we won't charge you a commission on the back end. Now, how anybody do this better and have the presence that we have in the market, I have no idea. They don't. So just compare the markups and don't get tricked by them calling their commission the premium. You've got a premium, you've got the spot price plus the premium of what it cost me to buy it from someone like the Royal Canadian Mint. And then you have your cost, which is spot plus premium plus commission. So just be clear with that. But the reason I say, as far as I'm concerned, today's a buy signal. Look at what's going on in Asia, in Singapore. We did a sizable sale last week in silver and had to pay 28 cents more for the same thing that you can buy here. 28 cents per ounce more for 100-ounce bars than they are here. So why you want to wait, I have no idea, because we have a stock market that is selling at 36 times earnings when the average over the last 100 years is about 15 times earnings. We all know the market's going to have a big drop at some point. We've just seen President Trump beaten on getting his health care plan passed, and now we're up against the tax cuts, and there's going to be a battle there. And I can tell you right now, there's no way he's going to get 35% tax down to 15% on corporate, and probably won't even get the personal taxes cut at all. If so, it'll be very negligible. It doesn't even make sense. We don't need to cut taxes. We got to work on getting rid of the deficit to improve our currency. The dollar's down 7% this year, even after they had a good jump last week on the economic news and lower unemployment. And then President Trump comes on from West Virginia and announces Governor Justice is changed from a Democrat to a Republican, the governor of West Virginia. And yet we're sitting there seeing the markets sitting still with the dollar going straight down and Trump having no hope of turning it around. We're the largest debtor country in the world. We've got a budget coming up. The budget's not going to be less than it was under Obama. It's going to be more. And yet promises are being broken. Some of them Trump can't help. Some of them he can help. But the point is, while there's a lot of good things going on in this administration, special social issues and others, and immigration, things like that, but economically they're not. And once he fails another one of it, you're going to see the stock market tumble. And what you want to do is be ready when you can right now buy gold and silver at prices that are with hardly any downside risk, 2 or 3%, when you got other markets with huge downside risk, and you've got the bond market that if rates go down, the economy weakens, and then the stock market goes down. If the rates go up, inflation is picking up, the dollar is going down. So there's just not a good scenario out there. We can't turn this major cruise liner around on a dime. It's going to take years of patience and battling the Democrats and the liberals for Trump to get any kind of hope. But just watch the budget negotiations over the next month as fiscal 2017 ends September 30th and fiscal 2018 starts October 1st. But the other thing you got to notice is Trump has raised the debt ceiling, not $1 trillion, but $1,250 billion, 25% more than Obama ever raised it. So why you're not buying gold and silver, I have no clue whatsoever, with a percentage of your assets. I was on a conference call Friday with 2 major money managers. One of them known over 35 years, and they're out there trying to help their clients, and probably 90-some% of money managers don't have any gold and silver. And just think, gold's gone up since 2000 to 2017 from 250 to 1250 5 times, and the stock market's gone from 16,000 something to 22 for 80% total return over 17 years, and gold's gone up 500%. And because the stock market has done very well the last four years, it's still nowhere near, and now we see it changing back to gold and silver, or you may see stocks and gold and silver go up together. But buy something that has very little risk, total privacy. And then we come to the closing remarks. The most important issue to you is knowing cryptocurrency and what backs them with gold and silver currency. Let me say that I was at a meeting 3 weeks ago in New York, and here's the big deal. Banks, if they don't come into a cryptocurrency backed by gold and silver, they're going to lose all their depositors probably in the next 18 months. Why would anybody keep their account in commercial paper in a brokerage account or in a bank that's insured with the FDIC having such a low percentage assets to cover what they have insured, when soon you'll be able to put money into a cryptocurrency backed by physical gold and silver? Now, there's two sides of the ledger to me, and I'm talking to you about what's going to transpire as Andrew Maguire's thing comes to fruition and people buy 200 or 300 tons of gold to back a currency, or they buy tons of silver to back a currency. You had better be ready. Now, the side of cryptocurrencies where they're like a Federal Reserve note or backed by a fiat currency, it's backed by a hope. It's not redeemable except you go out and it can go up. But I'm not talking about that. I have nothing against cryptocurrencies that you're like Bitcoin and OneCoin and these others. It's not a thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. What I'm saying is you're buying in a speculative thing that goes up or down, but it's not a currency backed by gold and silver, as we'll start seeing coming out in the next few months and will intensify. And by this time next year, if you're not have your money in a cryptocurrency backed by gold and silver, you'll have to have your head examined if you keep it in the banking system the way it is today. But at that meeting, I did learn there are banks that know this is going to happen, and they will enter and hopefully back their deposits with gold and silver. Yet to be seen, but you've got to start thinking now and not wait till next year. And I can tell you right now, the premiums on gold and silver, what I have to pay for them over, not my commission won't be any higher, but the cost of the premium over the spot price, I can promise you is going to be higher by the end of this year and then again higher next year. So why not buy your gold and silver when it has very little down risk? Maybe it takes 6 months, 8 months, 12 months before it makes a big move. But you'll already have it. You'll have it stored at the lowest fees anybody can give you. If you use our storage programs, you'll take delivery at a very, very low markup. We'll pay the shipping and insurance. And when you're ready to sell, we won't charge you anything to resell it. How can anyone do better than that? So hopefully, and for those that are interested in a self-directed precious metals IRA, we can help you with that. Give us a call at 800-247-2812. That's 800-247-2812, and we can talk about any of these subjects we talked about today. Now, with this special report, this is Tom Cloud signing out.